Hey everyone. Obviously, I'm not home. I'm still at Emily's after Thanksgiving. I'm flying back very soon though, so I got to get this recorded, get you something for Monday. There have been, oh my God, so many sales on the website that I don't mention. I'm going to try really hard to not mention the website, make all your Blue Group gadgets jokes in the comments. But this is something on the website, and you've been asking me for it all over the freaking internet. And a lot of you bought it already. So, yeah, we talk about this in class. We talk about this at Red Team Alliance. We talk about this in the pen testing community. What is one of the best tools you can have breaking into a building? Underdoor tool, right? It is one of the most unstoppable things. As Bobak once said, like there was this big conference, it was GSX, and we were being asked, what are the biggest trends, what are the best things, the worst things, et cetera. And everyone had these long, drawn-out answers about what buildings can do about defense. And it came to Bobak, who's very much a speaker, and Mr. Javadi, what do you think about, building and security posture? He's like, Rex Weekend Underdoor tool. That was his hand. He was like, Rex sensor exploits, Weekend for the data backhaul on your card readers, Underdoor tool. He was like, that is still going to be the way we exploit our way into so many buildings. Rex Weekend Underdoor tool. So Rex sensors, obviously, can of air or our little R134As. Weekend, the backhaul, ESP key. There are some other tools out there, but the ESP key still is killing it. Underdoor tool, though. Having an underdoor tool on you, the other ones are small, those exploit tools. Underdoor tools are big. You might remember, however, some of you have been around long enough to recall, it's not on the internet anymore. I looked a while back when somebody asked me about him. So a former employee of ours, not so civil engineer, some of you may remember him, he was posting all the time for a while. He works elsewhere in the industry, he's fine. I still get emails from people saying, hey, whatever happened to that guy? Like, no, he's doing great. He's very happy where he is. But I guess his new job, he had to scrub himself from the internet. Maybe he's doing spooky shit. But he had a very cool thing that he devised. So he was working for us for a while and putting out all these mods for underdoor tools. The idea of a retractable line that other people had experimented with, he demonstrated how well that works. He made some really cool hook type ends. We still have a few of them at Red Team Alliance that are on display, the underdoor tool mods that he made. But the really hot one that people were like, oh man, that's a cool idea, and a lot of us tried to fabricable it. We talked for a long time about putting an underdoor tool in a belt. It captured a lot of attention briefly on the internet, and then it kind of went away. Because it's not an easy thing to make, right? I'm not a leather goods worker. And the way he did it at the time, he found a company that was making these ratcheting style belts. If you've never played with these, they naturally had this hollow down the middle of them. And he played with some rod stock and kind of shoved something in there. And it was a cool idea. And like, I wanted to make one, so I reached out to the same company. It's one of the biggest names in ratcheting belts. If you're not familiar with a ratcheting belt, maybe I'll throw some footage in here, right? But they have sort of two pieces of material back to back, stitched together, and it means that there's this long channel down the middle, and the head of the belt, the buckle, actually pops off in your hands with no tools. That's because you size them by cutting them. The belt's really long, you size it to your size, you cut it, you snap the head on, you're good. And he was like, dude, I could slide some shit down in there, I can make this work. So when he did that, I almost immediately went out and bought the same thing. I was like, hey homie, I'm gonna try to copy your idea. He's like, awesome, see if you can make it work. And I couldn't make it work. Because when the company sent me their belt, it didn't have two pieces, well, it had two pieces of material, but they weren't separate. They were glued together. And I was like, shit, that stinks. And I had to pick the stitching apart, and I had to work and rip this glue apart. It was a whole mess. And I was like, well, that's not going to work very well at all, is it? So ultimately, this idea, again, it just sat on a shelf for a while. But we never really dropped it. And I kept reaching out to different companies, especially this big name company. I was like, hey, you used to make your belts without the glue, right? Can I order it that way? I don't want the glue, that stinks. And they said, no, our belts all have adhesive in the middle of them now. That's for improved quality and rigidity. And I said, yeah, but I don't want the glue. And they said, but they all have the glue. This is the thing. As a business owner myself, I sell things. The answer should never be no. The answer is always yes, but this is the price, right? So I was really scratching my head. I'm like, why is this company not willing to? I was like, you're not even doing an extra thing. I want you to just not do one of the steps you're doing. Just don't put the glue in when you make mine. And we kept going. I said, look, it's not just for me. I want a bunch of them. And they said, no, we can't do it. And I said, look, I will order 100 of these. Just make them without the glue. It kept back and forth. And eventually, I got so frustrated when they kept saying they couldn't do it. I went, oh, what's wrong with me? You guys aren't making these. They're made by some factory somewhere. You're just a middleman. You're just marking up the price. So I found the factory. I found a ratcheting belt manufacturer. I'm pretty sure it's theirs. And I reached out to them and I said, hey, I want to order a bunch of your belts. I don't want the adhesive on the inside. And they said, yeah, here's the price. And we went back and forth a little bit more and decided on which colors and which grains. Obviously, I'm rocking the really cool green because green is my color. But I bought hundreds of these belts in brown and black. And yeah, we have them now. We have the underdoor. You can see there's something clearly in this. If you haven't seen it, some of you let me know if you're not aware of this. I thought most people on the internet were already familiar with this idea that sticking a tool, an underdoor tool, down inside a belt is a real banging way to try to do this. So if you haven't seen Not So Civil Engineer's video, you're not familiar with this, yeah, underdoor tool inside of a belt. This is awesome. And we have them now because I took the time to actually get the parts and work the way I want. So if you don't like the lack of fashion of this very flat, plain black buckle, it's still a standard-sized ratcheting belt. It has the same mechanism. There are a billion people out there now selling ratcheting belts. You can go buy fancy buckles if you want on the internet. I don't care. I just want you all to be able to have this tool in your kits. It's something that I wear every day now. I have used them. We'll drop some footage in here of me actually attacking a hotel door. We made a little mock-up to show some people in the industry, like, what if your electronic fails? If you can't go high-tech, got to go low-tech. And sure enough. Now, is it an instant deployment? Like, you see me pull it out of this belt, but do you instantly have it ready to go? Like the sleep stick made by another friend in our industry? No, you have to stretch it out. You have to shape it to the size and the height of the door you're attacking, but it will get you in. This rod stock is not the best underdoor tool imaginable, but I kind of make the comparison to concealed carry of another kind, right? If you're concealed carrying a pistol for personal defense, right? Your concealed carry pistol isn't necessarily the best firearm that you can have. It's the one that you have on you. That's what makes all the difference. This isn't the best underdoor tool in existence. It's the one you can have on you. And I'm just thrilled with it. It comes as a kit because, again, every body is different. Every body size is different. Every door is different. In your part of the world, you might be dealing with different heights of handles or different styles of handles. But the parts kit can be assembled in just a few minutes. Now, important note about restowage after a job. We do get people who say, man, I've looked at some of your footage. These get really mangled up when you're using them. Yes, they do. They don't spring back perfectly. Two things there. One, we do have the ability to straighten out the rod again. I played with a number of different technologies. Honestly, a crafting wire straightener. I shot a little footage of me doing this. On the back of a door, you can hang one of these tools, get it really stiff and rigid by swiping down it over and over and over with this little nylon craft wire straightener. It will work. Then reinserting it back into the belt, it does help to have a push rod of some kind. Again, in the instructions that are linked on the product page that I'm not linking to, go find it. There are plenty of found materials that I can describe that will work very well. Or we might come up with some kind of additional rod thing in the future if you want a collapsible one that fits in your kit. We'll come up with that. But I have really tried to think through all of the potential hiccups you might run into. I'm now confident this is ready for prime time. I want people to try this. I want people to tell me if it works for you. My team has all used them now. I keep them on me all the time. People always ask me, is this a problem? Do you get stopped by security? Are you going through TSA or metal detectors in courthouses and jails? And no, I mean, I wouldn't try to take this into a prison. But like, if I'm going into the TSA area, like, I constantly have this on me. And I've never, I'm not going to wear it through the magnetometer. I take off my belt, I put it through the tray, and no one's ever noticed it whatsoever. And if you get questioned, like, why is your belt so stiff? That looks weird. Again, it's never happened to me, but there's loads of people out there with very stiff belts. How many of you have a gun belt that is reinforced with Kydex on the inside? I have tons of those. I've absolutely been able to say, if somebody, like a colleague once said, hey, your belt's kind of interesting, as I was holding it up and putting it on, I said, oh yeah, it's reinforced on the inside. Because I didn't want to have the whole conversation. I was literally about to break into their facility. We were having a kickoff meeting, and I was going to walk around with them and then show it to them, and they loved it. So if you love this idea, if you want to try this idea, by all means, check it out. I'm not going to link to the website. We are having our big sale, but y'all can figure out whatever you want to do or make your own. Literally, there are some other brands of ratcheting belt out there that I think people have told me, oh, they don't have the adhesive. You could try this one or that one. I'm happy with the ones I found. Tell me about the ones you might find. And if you do see Not So Civil Engineer anywhere on the internet anymore, tell him thank you for all the work he did. I hope his contributions still live on somewhere, even though his YouTube's been deleted. But all of us in the industry sharing ideas, sharing knowledge with each other, talking like this, that's what moves security further down the playing field. I hope you like this idea. I hope you play with it. I'm having a ball with it. Yeah, this is obviously going to be the giveaway, not my special green one. But if you want a black or a brown one, they are all full grain leather. They're all. I'm really proud of this. Like a lot of I could have gone cheap. I could have gone crappy. I think they're better than some of the ratcheting belts that are out there in the world right now. So by all means, if you want one, you can get them elsewhere, or you can sign up at the giveaway. I'm happy to give one of these away. If I tell you you're the winner, you'll say black, brown, or we might have one more of the red ones. Ooh, would you like a red one? I made a red one for Bobak because he's got that swag and that drip. If I still have one spare red one, you could ask for that one, and you'll be the only other person out there who has a red one. All right. If you like this one, I hope you had a very happy holiday. I got to get on a plane, so I got to pack all this up. I hope to see you all on the internet, right? I hope you enjoy this. I hope to see you out there. Wherever you are, wherever you go, whatever you do, get through those doors. Keep that thing on you. Stay safe out there.